For sure, the most exciting and most fun part of a body contouring professional's business life is when you get your hands on that brand new body contouring machine and learn all about how to treat with it. But if you're already in business, you know that as the days pass in your body contouring business, there's a whole lot of questions that come up, often firing multiple times at you on a daily basis. It's nearly impossible to predict 100% of those uncomfortable moments where you feel that pure terror of being so unprepared. But thanks to a student of ours who wrote to us with such a question, you'll have at least one of those answers. So stay tuned to this episode as we discuss how do you manage a patient who asks you to treat multiple areas the same day. And here's a hint. It's not always a yes answer.
You're listening to the Body Contouring Academy's Proven Profits podcast, where you'll learn simple, actionable strategies from real-world, successful body contouring professionals to help you generate more revenue, realize the profits you want, and create the life you desire. Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kay.
And we're your hosts of the Proven Profits podcast.
Hi to all of our fellow body sculptors out there. Kay here. Thank you for being here with us. Don't we all love it when clients are so motivated they want us to sculpt in more than one area? We sure do. Well, our student Brittany wrote to us asking about that very thing. How do I know if I should sculpt both areas in one day? So before we dive in, we need to say thank you, Brittany, for bringing this up. It's a discussion that's really important for body contouring professionals. And also, congratulations to Brittany for completing your 6-in-1 masterclass and for putting it into action. That's fantastic. Makes us so happy. But back to the subject at hand. Should you always say yes to a client who wants to treat, for example, her abs and thighs during the same visit? Short answer here, and then we'll discuss the considerations you should take to get to the right answer for your business or practice. Generally, with some medical exceptions, which we'll mention in a bit, it's perfectly safe to treat both areas in one day. But there are some instances when it may not be in your client's or in your business's best interest to do so. So how do you know? Well, we're going to discuss the factors you should consider, the questions you need to answer, and the process you should go through so you do know. Question number 1. Can your client's lymphatic system handle the double elimination that goes along with the double sculpting? You know, every non-invasive fat reduction technology releases lipids and debris into your client's bodies. That means that the treatments produce an additional workload on your client's lymphatic system. For sure, if you listened to our last podcast, you know that most body contouring clients who come to see us have underperforming lymphatic systems at best, even before our treatments. And if your client's lymphatic system is sluggish at carrying away the debris from the treatment, your client's not going to be able to see her full results. There's going to be fluids and waste still sitting there in the interstitial space in her body awaiting elimination. Extra inches, extra size from that. Well, that makes for a very unhappy client and a real drag on your body contouring business. So address these questions. How much fat are you treating? In other words, how large is the client? How large are the areas that you're treating? And what kind of lifestyle does your client lead? You'll need to ask specific questions because most of us think we're living a healthy lifestyle when in reality, there's a lot of improvement we can make. So ask specific questions like this. How much water do you drink each day? Do you sit at your job? Do you need to sit? How much stress do you have in your life? What kind of exercise do you do? And how often do you do it? And can you describe to me your daily diet? And also, ask yourself, do you offer any type of lymphatic booster therapies like vibration therapy, pressotherapy, vacuum therapy, so you can assist your client's lymphatic function? We discussed these therapies in detail last week too. And in case you missed it, we'll leave links in our show notes, or if you'd prefer, just listen to last week's episode, Why You Can and Should Hack Your Client's Lymphatic System to Get Better and Faster Body Contouring Results. Okay, now let's apply the questions that we just covered. And we'll use our medical spa as an example. At our medical spa, one of our key differentiators actually is offering double sculpting or treating two areas simultaneously. And we can do this for 3 reasons. 1, because we own 2 sculpture devices. 2, because we educate our patients about the lymphatic system and its role in non-invasive fat reduction. And 3, because we offer, promote, and encourage multiple lymphatic booster therapies to assist their lymphatic system function during that fat elimination process period. So see how we have those bases covered regarding worries about lymphatic drainage? When you're considering the request to treat multiple body contouring areas in one day, you should really shoot for including education about the lymphatic system and its role in body contouring in your body contouring protocol. And we highly encourage you to offer lymphatic boosters. If you do all this, you've passed this first test. Well, next up in factors to consider is how flexible is your client's schedule and how flexible is your business schedule. If you own more than one non-invasive fat reduction device, like at our medical spa, you may be able to sculpt 2 areas at once using 2 devices. But if you're like most body contouring providers and don't own 2 machines that you can use simultaneously, you're looking at 2 visits, 1 twice a week, or back-to-back hour-long blocks on the same day. And so is your client. So here's the questions you need to evaluate. Unlike our first consideration, that of the load on the lymphatic system, this one is more business and practice specific. So here's some questions. Is your client able or willing to come in for 2 treatments and 2 visits a week? Can your client stay as long as a 2-hour visit? Do you offer evening and or weekend hours to accommodate your client's hours? Are you educating your clients about the lymphatic system and its role in body contouring? Does your client understand and appreciate why you may recommend against 2 areas on the same day? And how easy is it for you to open or squeeze in 2 one-hour blocks back-to-back in one day? So bottom line, when making a decision whether to treat multiple body contouring areas in that one visit, take into consideration your schedule and restraints, and your client's schedule and the restraints on her schedule. Well, that brings us to consideration number 3. Think about what you need to do to preserve your machine's lifespan, its longevity. You're going to need a plan. Because maybe you knew this and maybe you didn't. But running your machines back to back without a rest can shorten their lifespan. And as body contouring providers, we invest a good portion of our budget into our non-invasive fat reduction machines. We want to do all we can to extend their life and to treat as many clients with them as possible. And the fact is, most device manufacturers recommend powering down the machine after about an hour or a cycle of use, all the way from the manufacturer of the 6-in-1 cavitation machine to the sculpture device and to most of the cryolipolysis machines. The exact time needed for the machine to rest after powering down, it varies depending on the manufacturer and the machine. For example, as we said earlier, the primary fat reduction device we use at our medical spa is Sculpture. Our Sculpture protocol dictates that we power down the device for at least 5 to 10 minutes following every 20-minute treatment. And since sculpture is only a 20-minute treatment, that's not hard to do. We can still run the machine 2 times within an hour block and treat 2 areas within that time and give the machine a rest. But many machines require a longer treatment time. A lipo laser treatment, for example, takes a good 45 minutes. And if you're treating 2 areas back to back, what will you have your client do for the machine's rest period? You don't want to leave them idle. Well, one solution is to offer the lymphatic booster therapy, the vibration platform. You can keep your client busy with a restroom break, and then she can get on a 10-minute vibration therapy program, and then back to the treatment room for round 2. We raved about how vibration therapy can build your business in last week's episode, and we'll leave a link to an article about that too, but again, you can listen to the episode if you're interested. Now, here's the danger in not having something to keep your client busy during that rest period. You might be tempted to skip the rest period to keep your client happy because she may see just sitting there waiting for the machine to rest as a total waste of her time. And then if you don't rest your machine, well, that's not good on your machine, puts years more life on it. So when making a decision whether to treat multiple body contouring areas in one visit, consider taking the steps to preserve the lifespan of your machines. This factor for consideration is definitely machine dependent, so make a plan for your machines and your business. That's it. We discussed the 3 main categories of factors to consider when making these determinations to treat more than one area in a single visit. Let's give you an example that might help you out further. Our medical spa again. We've taken all of these factors into consideration when developing our protocol. And here's a nutshell only of our 2 treatment in the same day protocol. The protocol at our medical spa allows for what we refer to as double sculpting. Remember, that's 2 areas simultaneously, or just when we treat 2 areas back to back. This does not include patients with lymphatic issues or other medical issues. These are exceptions. The protocol provides for the treatment specialist to instruct on lymphatic booster treatments, to give the machine a rest of 5 to 10 minutes between the treatment at least, and it provides detailed scheduling instructions. Now, the protocol further dictates that beyond 2 treatment areas on the same day, the determination is made on a case-by-case basis and requires consultation with either our medical or nursing personnel and then a medical authorization. Now, you may be wondering about those patients with lymphatic medical issues. Well, they require special medical clearance for even one treatment. And most don't get cleared at all, even for one treatment, since the second part of any non-invasive body contouring treatment requires work by the patient's lymphatic system. But those patients are very rare indeed. So now this podcast comes to the hardest part for you. You're going to need to use these factors and make a process or a protocol for treating 2 areas in the same day that is right for your business, keeping all these things in consideration. You know, these kinds of issues arise on a daily basis in the business of body contouring. Over the past 15 years or so, we've figured them out, and that's why we're here, to help you, to save you time, to make your business run better and be more profitable, and to help you live the life you want to live. That's it for today. Signing off for now, and until next time, beautiful wishes.
If you enjoyed the show, please find us on iTunes and leave us a review. Email us at bodycontouringacademy.com with any feedback, topic suggestions, or to offer to tell your body contouring success story. We love to hear success stories and learn about winning strategies. Visit bodycontouringacademy.com for tools, education, industry news, and cutting-edge articles. Thanks so much for listening and have a great rest of your week.